Tansy Pinnock, former principal of the Hemmingay Prep and Kindergarten. Dr. Heather Pinnock Bryan, director. Ms. Shonette Dua, who is the chairman of the board. Dr. Sadie Martley, representative of the school board, and Dr. Shona Heron, consultant trainer, associate counseling and consulting psychologist. Dr. Juanette Jordan, past board chairman and advisor. Mr. Edward Buchanan, past board member and also advisor. Mrs. Molly Plummer Henry, representative of the board. Ethan Bryan, grandson to our honoree. And we also have Sean Bryan, who is also another grandson. We acknowledge, we recognize you. Mrs. Audrey Hudson Thorpe, who is a very good friend. Past students who we may have with us this evening. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, all. Good evening again. Yes, it's actually evening, even though the sun is out in all its glory. We're having longer evenings in the summer months. And we want to thank you for your patience in the first instance. We are off to a little late start, and we thank you for being so gracious. Why are we here this evening? We're here for a very special occasion. It's the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School Appreciation Awards and Dinner. And it's great that we can come together in this fashion to, while we're still vibrant and breathing and living, to say our thank yous and to show gratitude, because we know that gratitude is a must, yes? And it's so good to be here at the Meet Conference and Event Center to celebrate, yes, Mrs. Pinnock, but those other persons who would have made yeoman contribution to this august institution. So let me welcome each and every one of you. It is really very good to have you, because we could have planned all of this and then there's nobody here, it wouldn't have been the same, right? So for those of you who are out and you're here in good time, we want to thank you so much, and we welcome you wholeheartedly. We're going to have a good time this evening. You agree? Right, so you have to, just open yourself and make yourself in a mental space to receive all that we have to share with you this evening. And of course, we're going to have some good food too, so that's a bonus. But welcome one and all. And as usual, we invite God's presence in all that we do. And I'd like to invite Mr. Dwight Ottey to come at this time to invite God's presence and to bless us all. You can clap Mr. Ottey for me as he comes. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mrs. Stephenson-Dalley. Good afternoon, everyone. May I invite you to all stand, please, as we go to God in prayer. Heavenly Father, this evening we are grateful for life, and that is a great occasion that we can commemorate, we can appreciate, we can say thank you, Lord, for taking us through this milestone. And most so, Father, thank you for taking the person we appreciated this evening, Mrs. Pansy Pinnock, for taking her through all these years as she sojourned with this institution, Hemmingay, that was a thought in your mind that you brought into fruition and that you have blossomed over the years. And for this we want to say, thank you, God. Lord, I want to thank you, Lord, that even in the early years, Lord, through the 70s, through the turmoil 80s, through the turbulent 90s, crossing over into the millennium, she was there and you were with her. even until the onset of COVID, 20 years after the millennium started, you were with her and you have taken her through all this journey. We want to say thank you, God. And Lord, even as she goes into this new stage of her life, we ask you, God, that you continue to bless her, to give her health, to give her strength. We pray, God, for those of us who need wisdom, that we can still go to her and ask her for wisdom. We pray, Father, that she still has a big heart, and those of us who need a heart, who needs a hug, who need love, she can still render that to her. So, Father, we bless you for the life that you have given unto her, the contribution that she would have made, and want to thank you for the many persons who would have sojourned along with her. We thank you for her partners. She alone did not do it, but Father, the person who was there through it all was you, God, and we say thank you. And we give you thanks that we can come this afternoon to give you thanks and to appreciate the journey and to say, bless you, Lord, for the many humble feet that have passed through Hemmingay Prep and Kindergarten, and they have now been making their way into society because they have passed through those doors, through her hands, and you have blessed her, and you have blessed us so we can come back and say that she's blessed. Thank you, Father, for those who have put this function together. And we pray, God, that as we share past memories and as we partake in celebration and in eating, that we'll give you thanks and say, God, you've been good along the way, and we are here to celebrate and to say, thank you, Lord. All these mercies we ask, in your name we pray. Amen.
And we all say, amen. Thank you very much, Mr. Otti. 1976 to now is a long way. And they're not maybe a proliferation of people who can say, I had a dream and I saw it through. I think our special honoree this evening can say that, and she can say that with pride, that she had a dream all the way back in 1976, and she has touched so many lives. Some of them are here, and some may be on their way, and some will not even make it here this evening, but I know she would have done just that. Mr. Otti mentioned her big heart, and it is through that big heart that she has been able to impact so many lives and to see her dream come true. And that dream was to start an early childhood and primary education institution here in Montego Bay. I'm told that her institution was the first prep school to receive certification as an early childhood institution, and that is commendable. Clap for her, man. She has some gray hairs now, but she looks beautiful just the same, you know? And she's just really smiling as she always is, and we're so happy for that. We have a number of persons who are designated to bring greetings. One is the Honorable Bishop Conrad Pitkin, the Custos Rotalorum for the parish of St. James, who is unavoidably absent this evening, but who has asked Miss Shonette Dua, who is the chairman of the board, to read his greeting for us this evening. And so I'm going to invite her to the lectern at this time to come to read the greeting, which is being sent from our Honorable Custos Conrad Pitkin. Put your hands together for her, please. Make her welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. And the Custos message is, salutations, good evening. Thank you, Dr. Heather Pickup-Bryan, for your invitation to celebrate with you all on this very important milestone in the life of the Hemmingay Prep School. I am pleased to offer my warmest congratulations to the principal, Mrs. Pansy Pickett, teachers, supporting staff, students, and parents of the school, for celebrating 48 years of existence in Montego Bay. You are a special institution guided by love and a strong desire to positively impact the lives of children in Western Jamaica. Celebrating 48 years of this noble institution provides you with an opportunity to reflect on your journey and what you have achieved over the years. Mrs. Pansy Pickett, we are grateful for your exceptional guidance and for fostering an atmosphere that allows children to flourish. Your passion for excellence shines through everything you do. The school's community has benefited from that passion, devotion, and commitment. We appreciate your leadership. I convey my sincere gratitude to you for your inspiring leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, the idea that was first thought of in 1976 soon took root, and the school has emerged from its chrysalis experience as a robust and dynamic organization. The surroundings of Montego Bay bear the marks of this educational institution. It is certainly a celebration of your past that the Lord has brought you to today. Hemmingay has gotten this far by faith, and I can genuinely attest to that. The motto of your school is not for school, but for life we learn. As a result, the school has done a commendable job of inspiring and empowering its students to be lifelong learners, critical thinkers, and contributing citizens of a constantly evolving global community, in addition to pursuing academic success and instilling ideals of devotion. The parents and guardians who send their children to Hemmingay will tell you that they feel a strong sense of security and comfort knowing that their children are being nurtured in a safe, protected, and happy environment. To all the members of staff, I also ask of you to diligently pursue and get a deeper understanding of God's wisdom for the institution. Continue to foster a spiritual atmosphere that encourages moral behavior and express gratitude while you consider what you have received in Christ for your school. Once again, I laud all the stakeholders for their commitment to the safety, well-being, and development of the students, and wish for the staff and leadership many more successes in their future endeavors. God bless you.
Thank you very much. That greeting from the Honorable Bishop Conrad de Pitkin, Custis Rotorome for the parish. Lifelong learners, critical thinkers. That is what you would have been cultivating. And when you look around, we see the gap that we need to do so much more in that regard. Dr. Sadie Mortley is a representative of the school board, and she's here with us this evening. I'd like you to put your hands together and make her welcome as she comes with her greeting this evening.
Master of Ceremonies, Mrs. Marline Stephenson-Dalley, Dr. Michele Pinnock, Director for Region 4 at the Ministry of Education and Youth, our distinguished honoree, Mrs. Pickett, Dr. Brian, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good evening. I would ask the board members to stand because I'm just representing them So board members here, please stand. On behalf of the Hemmingay School Board, I would like to greet you all and thank you for coming to support us on this special occasion. The leadership and staff of the school was aware that when educating minds of our youth, they should not forget to educate their hearts. And that was deep in Mrs. Pickett's heart. For over 48 years, Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten have impacted many lives, families, individuals, with the motto, not for school, but for life, we learn. Under the direction and guidance of Mrs. Pansy Pickett, you have been an incredible mentor, Mrs. Pickett, and a role model for all the students that walked through the doors of Hemmingay Prep. And they are so thankful for your guidance. We can hear them saying that. We can truly agree with Brad Henry that said, a good teacher that inspired hope, ignite imagination, and instill a love of learning. And that's what you did to many children, Mrs. Pickett. To all other awardees, we pause to celebrate you on this beautiful afternoon and highlight you. We appreciate what you have done for the school. Your willingness to put your all into words is not enough for us, but a day can change one's life. As a board, we salute you, our awardees, and celebrate your contribution to the growth and development of Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten at this appreciation and award ceremony. I greet you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mortley, representing the school board this evening. You know, I think it was Malcolm X who said that education is our passport to the future. For tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare for it today. I'm listening in as the greetings are being given. So, Custis spoke about lifelong learning and critical thinking. And Dr. Mortley is sharing with us that you, Miss Pansy, you were an incredible mentor and a role model. And how important is that? Very, very important. And so again, we salute you because we're going now into another skill set, yes? So we're stacking it up. Mrs. Dion Whitgard is representing the Early Childhood Commission this evening, and she is waiting in the wings to come to bring her greetings at this time. May I have a round of applause for her, please?
Okay. Master of Ceremony, Mrs. Marline Stephenson-Dalley, Director of the Ministry of Education, Region 4, and our keynote speaker, Dr. Michele Pinnock, Chairman of the School Board, Ms. Shawnette Dewar, Director, Dr. Heather Pickett Bryan, Guest of Honor, Mrs. Pansy Pickett, other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, good afternoon. The late Martin Luther King said, "You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take the first step." This afternoon, we are here to honor someone who had not seen the whole staircase, but decided in 1976 to take a step, and today we have the great and noble institution known as the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School that has impacted many lives for over 48 years. I speak of no other than the pioneer and visionary educator, Mrs. Pansy Pinnock. This afternoon, it is my pleasure to represent the Early Childhood Commission, which is the agency responsible for and supervise. I have had the privilege of inspecting and supervising the Hemmingay Preparatory Department, Kindergarten Department. In my capacity as inspector, I've had to interact with Mrs. Pinnock, who I have found to be very kind, hardworking, and though she will let me know how she felt, she would still be very cooperative in working with the Commission to bring the institution up to the required standards. Thus, in 2015, the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten became the first early childhood certified institution in Jamaica. And I consulted two of my co-workers and who also supervised the institution, and this is what they had to say about Mrs. Pinnock. Mrs. Blake. The present development officer stated that she knew Mrs. Pinnock prior to working with ECC, and in those times when she interacted with her, she was always smiling. After becoming her development officer and would visit her school, she still maintained a pleasant demeanor, and she had something to, and if she had something to say, she would tell you her mind, but still in the most pleasant way. Mrs. Blake said she appreciates the contribution Mrs. Pinnock has made to early childhood education, and that she has made an indelible mark because a lot of the children have passed through her hands and she has impacted them. It is therefore fitting that she would get a commendation as this. Mrs. Grinion. And she was more personal because she actually attended the school. I remember trotting down the hills to Mrs. Pinnock's school at 2+ years old. At that time, it was at Hillview Baptist Church. I remember feeling very welcome there. Mrs. Pinnock was my teacher, and as I walked in on the school compound, I just told my parents, bye. Can you imagine a 2-year-old just saying bye? Because she said there was such love at the school. Mrs. Pinnock has never forgotten me all these years. Even when I went to high school, she would see me on the road and she would still remember me. When I became her development officer, and started supervising her school, she would say, welcome, Michele. You know we still have a good relationship. As her supervisor, anything that was required in maintaining the standards, she was always willing to do. I found her to be a very dedicated person, pleasant, willing, and would go above and beyond. Well deserved, Mrs. Pinnock, well deserved. Mrs. Pinnock, as you go on your retirement, I want to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. May the blessings of the Lord be upon you and grant you good health, wealth, and prosperity. May your family, school family, and the many lives you have touched rise up and call you blessed.
Thank you so much. Rise up and call you blessed. So, I want to thank you, Mrs. Ridgard, for those kind words. And again, pioneer, visionary educator, someone who has a lot of love and kindness and who's dedicated. So we're taking notes this evening because these nuggets are important for us to speak of the woman that we celebrate this evening. And I'm really very happy to be here because, you know, far too often we say these things at people's funerals. And it's always so sad that they can't hear these kind words. It's always so sad that they can't smell the roses. So it's just so important, and I really feel good to be here that we can do it here and now in the living years. Thank you again, Mrs. Ridgard. I believe at this time we have an item coming from the Western dancers. One of the dancers I am very familiar with. The others I don't know, but I gather they have been performing as a group from maybe about 2009, so that's quite a few years. And they're going to come to entertain us at this time. So if you're ready, please put your hands together and welcome the Western dancers. Western dancers. And I certainly hope the dancers are ready for us. Cheer them as they come. Okay, let's hear it one more time for the Western dancers. You know, if you can't go over it, you go under it. If you can't go under it, you go around. You gotta find a way, right? All right. We have some recollections at this time, and a past parent is in the house, and she's going to come at this time to share her own recollections. Dr. Shona Hera, please put your hands together for her.
Madam Chairman, Honoree Mrs. Pansy Picott, Dr. Michele Pinnock, honored guests all. It was Maya Angelou who said that you, Mrs. Picott, are a phenomenal woman. I don't know how many of us have read Maya Angelou. She is or was a very well-known African-American poet and female activist. And I think she would have declared you a phenomenal woman and a woman of substance. When did I meet Mrs. Picott? Way back in about 1984, 85. And I had been referred to Hemmingay because I needed a school where my daughter could feel comfortable. And as a 3-year-old, she was a little concerned where she was about the noise and the children running up and down and knocking each other down and what have you. And somebody told me, go talk to Mrs. Picott at Hillview. I went to Hillview, Tony and myself. Tony is my daughter. And when I asked who was Mrs. Picott, I was told to go inside and look for a short lady. And when I got in there, I was greeted with this bright, sunny, wonderful, awesome smile And when I looked at the person, I was like, yeah, that's Mrs. Pinnock. And you know what? As soon as I greeted her, she hugged my daughter, and my daughter hugged her. And I said, yes, I'm in the right place. I kind of was hoping that we would move from Hillview though, because if anybody knew where Hillview was, on the hill with a steep driveway. And so when we heard that we were all going to be moving to Norwood, it was a joy. Yes, we enjoyed Hillview, but we enjoyed Norwood more, our own place. Oh well, you hear me? With my bright self about oh well. But it was our place. Anybody who knows Mrs. Pinnock knows that she is a shy person, shy lady. She doesn't like to be up front. She prefers to be on the back burner. But all her children were forced to the front, made to go forward, made to be exposed, to learn and to grow. And they were not just nurtured as scholars, but as citizens of this country, community people. And for that, yes, as parents, we are very thankful, because Hemmingay became a force to be reckoned with. And anywhere we turned up, people knew that Hemmingay was a school to beat. If it were debates, if it were a quiz competition, we were winning them all. I remember the kids going on trips, educational tours, camp, anything that was happening, Hemmingay was turning up. And Mrs. Pinnock's children were going to excel. Right, Marlon? Right, Roger? Of the product of Hemmingay. And we are very proud of you, Mrs. Pinnock. I was very honored to not just be a parent, but to having served as PTA president for about 3 years. And I stopped being parent and PTA president at the same time, only when I moved on. But it was an honor and it was a joy. Hemmingay didn't have its own play field, but when we were at Hillview, it was SDC. And sometimes when we were having sports day, people would line up just to watch our children run. I don't know about Alma and your boy if they could run. My daughter never left to run. And so I had to run beside her and say, go baby, go, run Tony. And she's like, but mommy, I'm coming last. Run baby, enjoy it, run. And that was so important to instill in our children that they must enjoy the journey, not just prepare themselves to pass exams, but to enjoy the journey. And so, Mrs. Pinnock, your legacy is all of those thousands of lives that you have touched. Not just the children, but their parents, all of us. And we call you blessed, because you are. And we were happy that your life has been guided by biblical principles, and you're a woman of high standard. We respect you, we appreciate you. Yes, you were innovator. Yes, you were pioneer. You were so creative, and I'm sure you still are. And you're a wonderful, God-given human being. And I want you to know that. And as Marline says, let us not wait until it's too late to tell you how much we appreciate you and how much we love you. Yeah. Again, I quote Maya Angelou, because when we are in your presence, you just make us feel so special. And Maya Angelou said, people may not remember what we say to them. People may not remember what we do for them, but they never forget how you make them feel. And you made us all feel special. And so as we celebrate you today, as we acknowledge who you are and what you have been to all of us, I pray that the Lord will continue to bless you abundantly and that His grace will be sufficient. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Shona Heron, a past parent, a phenomenal woman, a woman of substance and high standards, who has nurtured not just scholars, but citizens of our community, citizens of our country. And your legacy is one that has touched many, many lives, not just your students, but the parents and your community by extension. An innovator, a creative thinker, and so much more. Thank you so much, Dr. Heron. We have a former teacher with us this evening, Mrs. Audrey Hudson Thorpe, and I'd like to bring her to the lectern at this time. I looked down in the audience and I saw a former parent as well who sort of surprised me. My sister, who all of her children went to Hemmingay, so that's why I'm chuckling. Please make her welcome. A round of applause.
Good evening, everyone. I love this atmosphere. The reason for that, you don't see this a lot, talking about someone when they're around. Well, Ms. Gail, I know you feel honored. You deserve every word that has been said, which is, that's you. I'm going to give you my part. I know they've said, I think I outbid everyone here that spoke, that they've known her. They said 48. I have gone to 50 years. So I think I kind of outbid everyone that talked. We're gathered here to honor and show our love and appreciation to Pansy Pickett. Some might know her as Miss Gail. I call her Miss Gail. A lot of people is Pansy Pickett. My relationship with Miss Pickett goes back to 1973, when my mom fell in love with her as a vibrant young lady. Our relationship grew stronger with the passing of my mom in 75. She became like an additional older sister to me and my siblings. She has become so close to me and my family, and the love continued throughout the years, that my children spent many summers in her care and attend Hemmingay Prep, and grew up loving and being spoiled by their Aunt Pansy. And her grandchildren call me Auntie Audrey, with one also becoming my godson. Now let's talk about the woman we know as Miss Pickett. Her educational leadership began in 1976 when she took over a primary school in Albion, St. James, from a retired principal named Miss Mulia. She stayed at this location for a few years, then she moved to better location in Paradise, location in Paradise, where she had to captivate, to serve hot lunches. I'm going to tell you about the lunches. Let me pause here. Her lunch, oh my God, you love her lunch. Most of all, I don't know if anyone ever made homemade donut. She was awesome with her own handmade homemade donut. I don't know if any students here that used to have her homemade donut. Hilton Bakery had nothing up against her. It was good, and she put the glaze on it. You want to eat 2 and 3. She okay, I did that already. I'm sorry. In 78, she moved to Hillview Baptist Church building. I heard the lady before talking about the hill. Yes, that was a very long hill that we went up. She offered me a job as a school kindergarten teacher to assist. I gladly accept. She knew I was always timid in regards to public speaking, but when that be a barrier for me, and also called me on June. She is a very dedicated lady. We always have devotion, never miss a devotion, right, Heather? And that's what we need in a lot of school. And she always called me, I was shy. I was a shy one. Now I'm not shy. I guess from what she put me through in 78 have made me stronger and more to be, she put me, honestly, I was shy. I used to stutter with reading, even Psalms 23, because I was so shy. But I want to thank you because that made me a much better speaker. That's why I'm here to speak on your behalf, or awesome you are. She knew I also did that. Hence why I know how to encourage to speak now in front of this audience. This is why I definitely honored to speak to our guests at our appreciation dinner for Hemmingay Prep. In 1986, our childhood dream finally became complete, and a reality after years of hard work, dedication, and commitment, and the love for her students and staff allowed Hemmingay Prep to move to its final location in Norwood, St. James. Until this day, it is forever home. The location was built from scratch with laying of concrete and placement of the first brick. Hemmingay Prep continued to excel with their comprehensive challenges and interaction curriculum while maintaining their high standard of conduct and discipline for their students to achieve excellent education. Hemmingdale students have excelled and won several awards and scholarships across the island from different organizations. The legacy of Hemmingay Prep has continued to grow with the love and support of our students, parents, and staff. Ms. Pickett has become an icon of the community and has gracefully passed on her legacy to her daughter, Dr. Heather Pickett Bryant. Now she can have the time to do what she loves most, which is reading, crocheting, and spending time with her daughter, son-in-law, and grandkids. The love and memory of Ms. Pickett has created for family, students, and staff will carry on for a generation to come. I want to tell you something. I wanted to get flowers because like she said, give me flowers when I'm alive, honor me when I'm alive. But I guess there's shortage of flowers in Jamaica, so that's why I didn't get you the flowers. But you know I love you. And now that you're retired, we visit you a lot. And you made me who I am. I had my childhood dream, which I have succeeded, and it's your perseverance, and see how you put yourself to something to be someone and to excel to where you are. And I thank you for that, to be your life that you can show me what life is and how you can achieve as long as you put yourself to something. And thank you, I love you from the bottom of my heart to the top all around. And guys, thank you for supporting this wonderful lady. She's awesome. Words cannot explain, I don't want to tear up here, but she's a wonderful lady, and I know a lot of us here. That's why you came out to support her, right? Yes. Because she needs something in your life. Okay, so now that she retired, you can still, call, visit, and still spread the word for Hemmingay Prep, because it's an awesome school. Thank you.
Thank you, former teacher. I don't think we have any of the donuts here today, but we will be eating shortly. An icon, awesome. These are just some of the adjectives used to describe this lovely lady. And just the general thread of her spirituality came out again in this presentation. Always ensuring you start your day with your devotions and getting our children attuned to our Maker. And that's so important. All right, we are actually at dinner time, but I know we have competing performers. So we have a little bit of a dilemma. My dancers want to dance for you for 3 minutes, and the Hatfield folk, or the Hatfield Cultural Group, they're also waiting in the wings to perform for you. And since we can't do them simultaneously, we're going to get 3 minutes of our dancers, and then we're going to get into our presentation from the Hatfield Cultural Group. And of course, it's going to be a sort of simultaneous equation here, because dinner is going to be going on at the same time as the performance will be going on at the same time. And this is because, and I think I owe it to you to say to you that these two groups actually have performances in some of our properties this evening. And so we don't want to keep them too long because we cannot make them late for their next performance. All right? So, Western dancers, you have 3 minutes to do your thing. Put your hands together for them. Mr. Music, bump it up.
And the voice with the fear
The Western dancers, ladies and gentlemen. May I have another round of applause for them? Did we bless the phone?
No, we didn't. No.
I don't think we blessed the food. While we get it back to change, let us just bless the food so that persons want to have dinner while we are entertained by the Hatfield culture. Alright? There you go, we're back in business. All right, so this group has been around for all of 50 years. Started down, it's Westmoreland, right, Miss Jean? Yes. And I had the pleasure of interviewing members of the group earlier this year on a podcast that I host, which is called Jamaica's Tourism Titans. And I'm really happy to see them this evening. They have been true ambassadors for Jamaica. They have gone all over the world and they have carried our flag very high. So if you are ready, please put your hands together and welcome the Hatfield Cultural Group.
Howdy neighbor, howdy, howdy neighbor. Howdy neighbor, howdy, howdy neighbor, howdy. Evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, evening, evening neighbor, Mango time, mango time, mango time, mango time. Woo! Remember that tell me no fi go mango walk, no go mango walk, no go mango walk. Remember that tell me no fi go mango walk, so we take for the turbine time. Mango time, mango time, mango time, mango time. There we go, mango walk, mango time. For it's only the time, mango time. Make we jump on the big jackass, ride it down on the top of us. For the back Roman's food, a mango time. I when the foods them arrive and drop. Wash your pot, turn them down, mango time. Wash your pot, turn them down, mango time.
Come we go down as solas. Come we go down as solas. Come we go down as solas. Figa by banana. Come we go down as solas. Figa by banana. Come we go down. Come we go down. Come we go down as solas market. Come we go down. Come we go down. Figa by banana. Take out your long trade bag. Inna the middle of the market. Take out your long trip back. Inna the middle of the market. Come we go down, come we go down, come we go down. Go solas market. Come we go down, come we go down. Figa buy banana. Come buy green one, banana. Come buy ripe one, banana. Come buy long one, banana. Come buy short one, banana. Come buy locaton, banana. Why yo, banana? Why yo, banana? Why yo, banana? Banana, banana, banana. In this island of Jamaica, the food we eat is very strong, especially in the parish of Westmoreland. The food we eat is very grand. Banana, 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 ripe and green, banana, rosa boy, banana, 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 banana. For the feet to the wharf, banana. For the wharf to the ship, banana. For the ship to America, banana, 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 banana. Hey. Canadians like it, Americans love it, everybody wants it. Banana, 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 banana. Me mama no want no rice, no peas, no coconut oil. Me mama no want no rice, no peas, no coconut oil. Me mama no want no rice, no peas, no coconut oil. All she wants is dandy shandy all the while. Me mama no want no fat, no fish, no coconut oil. Me mama no want no fat, no fish, no coconut oil. Me mama no want no fat, no fish, no coconut oil. I give her a dandy shandy all the while. Them lock up my room last night, cigarette. Them lock up my room. Them lock up my room last night, cigarette. Yes, them lock up my room. Them lock up my room last night, cigarette. Time so hard, man can't find money to pay the rent. Them lock up my room last night, cigarette. Yes, them lock up my room. Them lock up my room last night, cigarette. Yes, them lock up my room. Them lock up my room last night, cigarette. Time so hard, man can't find money to pay the rent. Time so hard, man can't find money to pay the rent. Time so hard, man can't find money to pay the rent.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And as you were told, we are the members of the Happy and the Cultural Group, a group in existence for 50 years. And it's an honor for us to be here because we deem this as a celebration, celebrating with Mrs. Pinnock. I got my first teaching job, they say I shouldn't talk. I got my first teaching job when I just came to Montego Bay at Hemmingay Prep School. That was where I started. And when the applications went in, and Mrs. Pinnock said, you know, we got over 30 odd applications. You were the only early childhood teacher. And so I got the job. I don't know if it was because I was qualified or because I was the only one, but I got the job. So ladies and gentlemen, I know that wherever you go, you learn, because you bloom where you're planted. And so even though I was there, and I wasn't teaching for a while because this is what I love to do, and I've been in there for quite a while now. You see, my age, I'm in my late 20s, so I can't count my age, no. So ladies and gentlemen, it's really a pleasure, and I deem it a privilege to be here this evening. We are celebrating in the month of June our 50th year, and to be a part of this celebration. So ladies and gentlemen, Hatfield Cultural Group.
Give thanks and praise to God for life, for love, and for prosperity. As I sing song of praise unto the Most High. Yeah, Rastafari.
Come with this, come, and we don't want nobody.
Persons who have organized this, Heather and company. And I know one of my teachers who used to work with me when I was at Hemmingay, Miss Reed. And I also know some of the parents and some of the children. Some of them in volleyball, you see Mrs. Hobbs. One of them, yes, man, one of them put a ball in every little team. Yes, so I remember those persons. And so it's really a pleasure to look and to see persons. And you know, you're looking at me and you're wondering, what you know? Yes, I was Miss Robinson then. And as I said before, I am in my late 20s. So thank you so very much. And on behalf of the members of the group, continue to enjoy your evening. Have a wonderful one. And as we usually say to our friends, live good, love good, laugh good, and walk good.
Let me hear it one more time for the Hatfield Cultural Group. Put your hands together for them. Thank you, Jean and team. And Mr. Music, it's over to you.
if you enjoyed your meal. And of course, we got a little sampling from our Hatfield cultural group earlier on. Of course, they did one of my favorite folk songs, Mango Time, Mango Time. Oh, you know, I'm telling you, and I just, you know, was it yesterday? Today is Saturday, right? Yesterday, I went into the offices of the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association in Kingston on Arden Road. And I'll confess, there is a huge Bombay mango tree on the property. And when I looked up, I couldn't count. Mango. Oh my goodness. So many of them were just nice and orange and, you know, that reddish color that they get. And I said, boy, if only I could have found a picker. But when I looked around, there were dozens on the floor. Dozens on, you know, they have this paved place, and I just pick up 2. I said, all right, yeah, 2 will do. But trust me, man, mango time, mango time. Now is the time. Make use of it. And in just the same way that we purchase all these frozen fruits in the supermarket, you know, strawberries and blueberries and all kinds of berries, make sure you freeze those mangoes, because when they're gone, they're gone. So, me not drink coffee, tea, mango time. We're going to resume, ladies and gentlemen, with a reflection from Ms. Carlos Reed, who is a teacher at the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten. And I'd like for you to put your hands together and make her welcome as she comes.
Good afternoon, everyone. With protocols observed, here reads: Reflection of a teacher at the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School. According to Robert Maheen, teaching is not a profession, it's a passion. Teaching is not a job, it's a journey. My journey at Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten was initiated by my brother, Dave, over 28 years ago, when he asked a friend, Dorna, Miss Lawrence, who was a teacher at Hemmingay, to ask Miss Pickett if she not have no work up there for Laverne. It was then, as a timid teenager, I was told to come, and I ventured through those gates at 12B Norwood Avenue. Immediately, I was ushered in by Mrs. Pickett, and in no time, we walked down that little slope right into what was known as the baby class then, now Kindergarten 1. If any of you know Mrs. Pickett, she doesn't waste time in giving you something to do. And right away, I was plunged in as an apprentice under the mentorship of the master teacher herself, Mrs. Pansy Pickett. When one teaches, to learn became an instant reality, as over time I acquired in students' book the work that they would do tomorrow, the evening before we left school. Mrs. Pickett was a diligent and hardened worker, and she left no stones unturned in order to have her babies, her upper school students, learn, especially mathematics. Right, Marline? I must have proven myself quite competent in a short time, as in no time I was given a class to teach me, little timid, shy girl from country. And I see Mr. Buck here, his son Ian Buchanan was in that first class. Mrs. Pickett, Mother N, would not leave her young teachers by themselves. She came in every day. She ensured that what was being taught is the right thing. She ensured that her babies were well taken care of, and she ensured that we as new teachers speak properly so that the children too speak properly. Teaching, wow. I soon discovered wasn't a destination but a journey, a winding path through laughter and frustration, triumph and even self-doubt at times. However, Mrs. Pickett, like a mother, would come in, and if we had doubts in putting across any subject area, she stepped right in. Right, Ms. Houston? Right. And I'll have you know, Mrs. Pickett was able to teach every single class at Hemmingay Prep. Now, some teachers might have been intimidated when she walked into their class and take over, but for me, I was glad because it was a time to rest and observe. And I observe, and don't tell Miss Pickett that Matsami and a friend. However, over time, I learned, and another promotion was in place. So I moved from kindergarten 1, and now I went to KG 2. And I stayed there for a while with Miss Todd, and that's where I met Mrs. Heron's son, Chad. I often wonder how Miss Pickett do it. Parents, you know, and teachers, she knew the name of every student, past and present. She knew where they were, she knew what they were doing, and she knew who married, how much children, and the children's name. Mrs. Pickett, a phenomenal woman. I am here as a proud teacher of Hemmingay Prep because of the opportunity that was afforded to me by this gentle giant. Can you imagine me now, teaching for 4 years, and then one day Miss Pickett say, a time for you to go to college. College, yes. So after 4 years, she also encouraged me to try out St. Joseph Teachers College. I the first me to hear that they named it. However, I journeyed to Kingston and enrolled, and after 3 years, I earned my diploma in early childhood education. And guess what? On graduation day, when I looked in the audience, apart from my mother who came all the way from Montego Bay, there was Mrs. Pickett and Dr. Brian, either I called her then, and little Andrika. I tell you about support. Mrs. Pickett support her teachers in every endeavor. So now, we come back from college, trained, teaching. Oh, there were days when doubt gnawed at the edge of my confidence as lessons stumbled against walls of resistance. But there was always a lifeline. God always make a way or send a deliverer. My deliverer, Mrs. Pansy Pinnock, to the rescue. I don't know how she do it. She tell us, students, you eat maths, you sleep maths, you dream maths, you drink maths, and you defecate maths. And I was listening, because even as a trained teacher, I shied away from teaching the math. But after some years of observing and listening, Ms. Pinnock leave me on my own. And now, 2004, January, the sudden need was there for a grade 6 teacher. Remember, now me train for early childhood. And at a meeting, she inquired who she could send to grade 6. And Lord, Miss Houston, you and Miss Beverly Elaine Taylor ball out. Read! And the things that went through my mind, I cannot speak here. However, reluctantly I took the challenge, and with the nurturing guidance of Mrs. Pinnock and all the resources that she had, the temporary placement lasted 18 years. As a teacher, the classroom was sometimes like a rum bar. This was where you heard people's business, the parents. Don't worry, I will not spill any beans on those who drink and get drunk, quarrel all night, smoke ganja, go to dance and was not able to help the children with their homework, or could not pay the school fee because them buy wig and lash with the money. Our children were just the greatest. Finally, my sojourn at grade 6, which spanned some 18 years, ended July 2023. The time had come for me to take a break. Reflecting on my journey as an educator, I could not have done it without teachers like Mrs. Pinnock, Miss Jean Robinson, Miss Pence, may her soul rest in peace, also Miss Anderson, Miss Houston, Miss Gilpin. We gelled like a family and we worked together. As I close, it would be remiss of me to take my seat without expressing my gratitude to Mrs. Pansy Pinnock for affording me the opportunity to use the most powerful weapon of education to try to change the world. So to all those faces who graced any of the classrooms, past and present, thank you. Thank you for the laughter and the tears, for challenges and triumph, for the whispers of doubt and the shouts of joy. Thank you for remembering us in your prayers. You are the colors that have painted the world, the threads that have woven my cloth, and the lessons that have cemented themselves on my chalkboard. Mrs. Pinnock, stand. All the teachers present here, please stand. We pay homage to you, mother, sister, mentor, teacher. Take a bow. As I now relax from grade 6 and take on grade 4, the excursions we will take are more than just field trips, but hopefully will be the gateways of empathy, understanding the world of interconnectedness as we interact daily, and acknowledging that knowledge isn't a solitary pursuit by a shared experience. Thank you, Mrs. Pickett, by extension, Dr. Heather Pickett Bryan, and the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School family for giving me this remarkable opportunity to live the school's motto, not for school, but for life we learn. I thank you.
And thank you very much, Ms. Carlis Reed, for that heartfelt tribute as you reflected on your journey as a teacher. And we have more adjectives coming up. Nurturer, great supporter, mother, mentor, gentle giant, diligent worker. All of that and more. Dr. Heather Pickett Bryan is the director at Hemmingay, and she has the honor of giving us a little historical overview of Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School. My sister told me during dinner that when her children started there, the school fee was $55. I guess maybe then $55 might have been enough money, a whole heap of money at the time. But when you say $55 now per term, you're like, what? That don't sound like it make any sense. Because I think you can probably get 5 ice mint for that. But that's what it was, and there is where it started. You know, they say the journey of 1,000 miles begins with the very first step. And so, having taken that step, 48 years later, we're here to celebrate. Dr. Heather Pickett Bryan, please come. Please put your hands together for her.
Good evening, everyone. All protocols observed. I'll be reading historical development of Hemmingay Prep, and who is best to talk about how it started and what I had to go through for it to reach 48 years. Imagine 48 years of looking at what mommy had to do and what I had to do for mommy to do what she had to do. Come on. Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School has been established since 1977. Officially, in 76, she took me out of all-age school, had me at home teaching, till she fully developed the school as Hemmingay Prep. This was made possible after the then Highland Prep, where mommy, who later married to name Pansy Pickett, me Gail, was employed. Unfortunately, Highland Prep closed its doors, leaving a void in education. With the vision of providing quality early childhood and primary education for children across the Montego Bay population, Mrs. Pickett envisioned the prospect, was then mentored and supported by her husband, Newt Pickett, with his soul, many of the past parents of the now defunct Highland Prep School, like Dickie Bird, Pastor Campbell, to open our own school, thus the birth of Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School. Hemmingay was first located at Mr. Bernard's house, just below Albion. Then it moved to the pond where Supreme Prep is now. From there, it went to Hillview Baptist until we had our own place, 12B Norwood. That's where we're at right now. One might reflect on how the name came into being. Mrs. Pickett, being the eldest daughter of a blended family, formulated the name by combining both family names of Hemmings and Gale. However, during the official registration process of the school, it was reduced to Hemmingay. Family members have over the years made significant contributions to the growth and development while being employed to the institution in various capacities. 48 years, hope we'll do another 48 years, and I'm charging family members to come in, take part, and let it go for another 48 years. Growth. Hemmingay Prep commenced with a cohort of 9 students, including myself. Know how much me get to learn? Maths? Still don't like maths. The vision and mission of this noble institution have capitulated its growth tremendously over time, which has made a remarkable impact in and around the small suburban community of Paradise, Norwood, and the wider Montego Bay, St. James. Our vision is to ensure equitable access to modern education by channeling the children with the right skills, values, and moral attributes that will create a safe and secure society. I remember one time the student stole something, and I don't know if you know, back in the days, Bible and key. When she worked that Bible and key, it's true, you know, I don't know it worked, but it worked. It came out to be the truth. So moral values, people. Our commitment is to provide early childhood and primary education for children between the ages of 3 to 12 years, and to assist in holistic development of children. Also to foster the talents and abilities of each child. Throughout the years, Mrs. Pinnock, along with her team of hard-working and dedicated staff members, has witnessed students emerge and blossom into well-rounded individuals who are prepared to take on whatever challenges that life might entrust upon them, and also live up to the school's motto, not for school, but for life we learn. Hemmingay Prep has gained numerous experiences by collaborating with other prep schools, which has contributed to the steady growth and success of the institution, which has also kept pace with the many changes in the education system. The students at Hemmingay are exposed to early childhood and primary education as outlined in the 2 to 5-year-old curriculum and the national standards curriculum, and have excelled in their readiness and formal learning, capturing numerous special awards, including government scholarships, with the total development of the child in mind. Students also engage in extracurricular activities such as tennis, swimming, football, cricket, netball, music, speech, dance, brownies, Cub Scout, and K-Kids Club. Now, this is what I love. I was never a teacher back then. I was working at Hemmingay Prep and all these extracurricular, I was the first to have my hand up. I'll do the training, just to get out of the classroom. I was a lifeguard at one time. So they call it Fletcher's Beach, just to get out of the classroom, which is good. I still swim today. And this thus has resulted in the school entering various competitions and has gained countless trophies, medals, certificates, and awards, which are evidently displayed once they enter the school's front office. This is a true testament to the myriad of skills and prowess exhibited by the students throughout the years. Our achievements goes as follows. Montego Bay Cooperative Credit Union Schools Academic Championship winner for the first 3 consecutive years. Government scholarships, 3 I must add, Donnelly Donaldson, well-known person. Leica Mathematics Competition winner, Millennium Goals Competition winner, KFC Primary and Prep School Quiz Competition, JCDC Dance, Gospel Competition, and Traditional Dance. The Gleaner Children's Own Spelling Bee Competition Parish winner, GISA Prep School Athletic Competition, Western Prep School Track and Field Competition winners, Kiwanis Kiddies Spelling Bee Competition running up 4th place, Kiddies Athletic Competition. Hemmingay prides itself on being recognized by the Ministry of Education since the 20th of August 1981. Also, the Hemmingay Early Child Institution was among the first batch of schools in the island to be certified by the Early Childhood Commission, having successfully completed the 12 standards in 2015. Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten is characterized as one of the best prep school in Western Jamaica. It houses 12 classrooms, a library, multi-purpose auditorium, computer, among other amenities. The school is currently operated by the Board of Governors, Principal Mrs. Pansy Pickett, Director Dr. Heather Pickett. Many notable figures have passed through the gates of Hemmingay Kindergarten and are now making their mark on the world stage locally and internationally in the fields of medicine, law, education, journalism, aviation, real estate, entrepreneurship, music, sports, and the list goes on. Historically, Hemmingay Prep has been reputed by greatness. According to the biblical scriptures, a city that is set on a hill cannot be hidden. Hemmingay has been the beacon of hope in the Norwood community of Northwest St. James. Mrs. Pickett's mantra has always been, and I quote, "Children are my business." And with that being said, every opportunity would be placed in molding and nurturing students in becoming the best version of themselves, regardless of color or economic status. Hemmingay prides itself on its inclusiveness. Therefore, no child would be rejected. Students are accepted at whatever level they are, and the caring and dedicated staff would work assiduously, leaving no stones unturned, until said student become functional to the point where he or she can write and pass national exams and become exemplars in society. The future of Hemmingay, as I said, we want another 48 years. The intention of the administrators of Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School is to continuously set high standards in early childhood and primary education, provide high-quality teaching learning opportunity to keep pace with the 21st century, encompass an inclusive, safe, and positive school culture, utilize the latest technology, strategies, and resources necessary to meet the demands of teaching and learning and assessments, use data and experience to inform decision-making and celebrate success, maintain professionalism when interfacing with students, parents, and all staff members. The collaborative efforts of selflessness and dedication of administrators and staff working diligently with all stakeholders will ensure that the legacy remains and a vibrant history continues to be in the making. Thank you, Pansy Pickett, for what you have done.
Thank you so much, Dr. Heather Pickett-Bryan, for giving us an overview, taking us back and taking us through the years to 2024 and looking for another 48 years, yes? Inclusiveness and technology and just being able to have those resources available to teachers and learners in an ever-evolving world. Thank you very, very much. I gather we have a past student of the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten who's going to come at this time to introduce our keynote speaker. I speak of none other than Mr. Marline Campbell. I met him in another, similar setting in that it was education, but I believe he's the principal of the Adelphi Primary School. So look at that. Past student, principal, come. Your turn to introduce the keynote speaker. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you again. Good evening, everyone. I see many of my Hemmingay friends, my fellow classmates at the time, and some of the parents. I've taught many parents of students from Hemmingay while I was there. And for me, I just want to make note that there are two ladies here that I have to speak of. I don't want any of them to get jealous. So the guest speaker, she can cool a little bit. Of course, we have to talk about the lady of the hour, don't it? And I hear them calling the name Marline. There are two Marlins here. You understand? Where's the other Marline? Raise your hand. See him there, sir. All right. quick note. I deem this as a triple privilege to be asked to present the guest speaker. One, because I am one of the few persons here who can speak from the three sides. I was taught by Miss Pickett, and I went there when the school fee was $30. And them time the $30 are money. Yes, because my mother have to pay it in a two-part. So 15 when she can pay some, and then the next 15 come in. So we know Hemmingay for a long time. As in from Hillview Baptist Church. And when we moved up to Norwood, you know, that was when the school fee first turned $60. And my mother had to pay it again 4 times. And that time for me, during that time, the time of the speaker was the teacher, as in teach us. Probably from grade 5 to grade 6, serious woman, this lady. Then Miss Austin and them teacher never come here yet. But the speaker serious, I mean like serious. Let me see those who can remember. Serious. So you have to get your discipline and you get your work up. Those times it's not modern right now, where the PEP scores come via the school's computer. No. Them time if you pass your name in a paper, the big leader say you can't see who no pass. So if you don't pass, it's no secret, the whole world. Because them the day the leader set up, sorry, let's not move away from what I'm assigned to do. So I will speak as a student. I spoke as a student, and then later on I went to Hemmingay as a teacher. Yes, man. And Miss Pickett was strict same way. I hear Miss Reed talking about not being afraid when Miss Pickett take a class because I get time for rest. No, foolishness. Because when I see the general stand up in front of the teacher, just realize he ain't teach nothing at all. So if you were afraid, something you different from me. You understand? When the speaker take over a class and teach, you feel like, okay, you know, say, tomorrow I don't have to plan different how we go approach these children, because somebody, you know, they experience greatness, so you try to emulate as much as you can. Alright, so my third role is to welcome a most special educator, whom we refer to as the regional director or something like that. Right? From the Ministry of Education. But she was my lecturer at Sam Sharp, my mentor, my ex-girlfriend, and now my current supervisor, who is known as Dr. Michele Pinnock, who many refer to as Doc, I refer to as Babes. Anyway, the term doctor for me though, but the term doctor for me is a title that is earned. You earn it with your level of qualification, but I believe you earn it also at being a master of your craft. So if somebody, when they refer to her and say Dr. Pinnock, it's not because doctor is on her paperwork or on her certificate, it's because she's a master at doing what she does. She's the regional director for Region 4 that takes in three parishes, St. James, Hanover, and Westmoreland. And that is over 160 schools. I run one school. Look at me. You see it? Yeah, man, I'm 21 now. One school. And she's running 160 schools. Give her a round of applause just for the echo. Now she's an educator, a very passionate educator, dedicated educator who gets her heart broken several times because the ideas and the innovations that she come up with are oftentimes, you know, shut down by the ministry, just by things that she said, because she's an advocate for teachers. Although JTA wouldn't jump into that in saying that she's an advocate, because they have limited experience with her. But hearing her speak at functions, seeing the way that she deals with my little school, that's Adelphi Primary, way up, but good distance away from you and from everybody. So the remote schools, we get our fight, but she's always looking out for us. I must commend Ms. Pickett too, because the ministry did not provide any furniture at the time. Ms. Pickett provided us with some. Give her a round of applause. Yes, ma'am. She just welcomed us to come up there and take out the furniture. I hope whoever else take charge will also follow suit, because what she has given, termite has taken away. But for Dr. Pinnock having 31 years, dedicating 31 years of service to education, I must commend her, and knowing that it's not just taking it for taking its sake and taking big promotion and big role. It's somebody who has a lot to offer, who offers a lot, who tries to get us into developing our classroom, dealing with our teachers correctly, and make education fun and live again. As I can note, we did excellent at Adelphi Primary School, located at Adelphi St. James. We did excellent in our PEP too, and she celebrated with us. Yes. And I'm a proud product of Hemmingay Prep School, who gave me the start to be where I am today, never giving up, because Ms. Pickett has been through everything with me. And Ms. Reader said she come to your graduation, she come to my wedding. That's a clash, because they make a know say you lose this one. Right. She never have much to get on my wedding, but she come here and she gives something to the married couple. But let us put our hands together and welcome a wonderful educator, Dr. Michele Pinnock. Please.
Our Master of Ceremonies, or honorees, Chairman of the Board of Governors and all board members, past board members, staff members, past students, current students, well-wishers, friends, boys and girls, good evening. Listen, you have to wake up now, you know. Good evening. Good evening. Excellent, excellent. Mr. Campbell, Mrs. Pickett, we worked on him. We worked tirelessly on him. And trust me, Marline, we are both very proud of you. Give him a round of applause. I want you to understand that because of the experience of Mrs. Pickett, Marline's classroom, how he introduced me, because he was over there, you know, and he said, Miss, when Miss Reed came up here, he said, Miss, and that then should I give me for the room? Because me I tell him, he said, well, all right then, just work it, do the thing, yes? And so, though he went off role, he had to, because Mrs. Pickett had actually grown, nurtured, and now has a product in the education public system. Congratulations. Now, I don't want you to fall asleep on me, and I have to keep you awake, yes? And so we have to do a little bit of work. Mrs. Pickett, she believed in excellence, and of course I know you have your pens and your papers in your bags, so you have to get it out, because we're going to have to do a little bit of spelling and mental ability, yes? So you ready? Let's do some spelling. Spell top. Come on, let's go. Top. Pop. Cop. When you get to the green line, like what you do? Stop. Really? We need to select the ones that were at your school. I'm sure the ones that got it right were at your school and the ones that did not. Okay, let's go again. We have a lot of doctors in the house, so they can't answer this question. But how can a man go 8 days without sleep? Doctors can't answer. Anybody? He sleeps in the day. Does he sleep in the day? Huh? He sleeps at night, so he's not going to sleep at night. Yeah? So he goes 8 days without sleep. All of us are going 8 days without sleep because we sleep at night. Okay. So are you awake? Not yet? Silk. Spell silk. Silk. Again, silk. Say the word. Silk. Say the word again. Silk. What do cows drink? Milk. Water. I won't say anything. I won't say anything. Today we pause because I think you're awake now. Yes? Yes, you're awake? Okay. So today we pause to publicly acknowledge the work and worth of Mrs. Pickott and or workers at the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School. And when we say workers, we're talking about those that are employed, and we're also talking about those that give voluntary service as board members. And we want to acknowledge their work, and we want them to understand that we do appreciate the work that they do. We thank God for His guidance in keeping them, yes, and of course, ensuring that our school really goes after excellence. And we know, Mrs. Pickott, excellence is the standard. Yes, there are so many persons that you would have turned away. So many persons you would have ended the contract because you knew what the standards were and you stood up for that. And I'm telling you, Mrs. Pickott, I'm going to beg you, the statement that I want us to leave here with is a statement, Madam MC, that our country needs all of us, and I'm saying that we must help, H-E-L-P. And I'm going to show you how Mrs. Pickott has actually been helping our country. And I want to say that, Madam, the way you stood up for your standard, no compromise, no matter who it was, that kind of energy we need back in our country. And so I ask you, as you move on to another part of the stage, I ask you to make sure that you stay with us, because we need that help to ensure that we're able to maintain that standard, especially that standard of excellence. So thank you for what you have done. Mrs. Pickott, in terms of our Hemmingay School, you would have worked with a number of persons. And based on the arrangement of the program, one of the messages that come out to me is one whereby, yes, honor me, but more importantly, honor the persons who supported me to get where the school is. And so I want to say, Mrs. Pickott, it's obvious you laid the standard, and the persons around you, the directors and the chairpersons, they followed you. And so today we're honoring our ANSIL workers. We're honoring Miss Brown, Miss Dawn Brown. Can you stand for me? Miss Dawn Brown. Yes, we're honoring Miss Walker. Is Miss Walker here? Yes. Lady with the biggest smile. Yes? Okay. Of course, we're also honoring Mr. Lansford Beckford. Excellent. And that's the ancillary section. Then we have our board persons. Dr. Jordan, please. The support, the stabilizer, the rock, we want to say thank you for all that you have done. And then Mr. Buck. Ladies and gentlemen, our board members, thank you for all that you have done. And then for our teachers, now Mrs. Pickett is an educator, and once you're an educator, that can't come out of your bone. So no matter where you are and what you're doing, you have to put people straight. And you don't want to just have people working. Educators make sure that they're able to empower people and to move people on. And so I know that these persons would have been grown, hand-grown by you, Mrs. Pickett. Miss Reed, please stand up again. Yes? Excellent. I noticed Mrs. Pickett wanted to make sure that you got the early childhood in her bones. At that time, early childhood was not at Sam Shop, so she couldn't send you to Sam Shop, but she sent you all the way to St. Joseph's. Thank you very much. Of course, Miss Gilpin. Excellent. And then Miss Houston, and I know Maureen, Mrs. Pickett sent her to Sam Shop in the evening school, and I also had my little chance to teach her as well. Congratulations and thank you for all that you do. And so, friends, we honor today stalwarts who would have been able to nurture our people. And so I want you to understand, honorees, that the little things you do in life take up large rooms in people's heart, and they don't ever forget. And so, Mrs. Pickett, I want you to understand that you have to bask in the legacy, right? When people tell you what you have done, and you say, me, you sure? Yes? You have to just understand that you have impacted lives in a positive way. Your kindness, your achievements are certainly etched out in our lives, in our community, and I want you to understand that your legacy is going to outlive not just yourself, but all of us in here, because you would have grown, nurtured, sculpted a legacy called education. And so we want to say thank you. As I reflect on Mrs. Pickett, I'm saying to us colleagues, friends, boys and girls, we have to help our people. We're called upon to do what is referred to as help. H-E-L-P. We can spell that one? H-E-L-P. I want to quickly say H. We want to help our people to be happy and to live harmoniously. Very, very important. You say to someone, how are you doing? Lord, you know this, you know that, you know whatever. I'm asking us all in this room, the next time you meet someone and you say, how are you doing? And they start giving you the negative, listen. And then when they're finished, you say, what about anything happy? Anything good? Yes? Let us see if we can change the conversation, because we have to make sure that we're able to help people to understand how much we do have. Yes, we just want to try to get them focused. Notice when you're speaking with Mrs. Pickett, first is the smile. Yes? Yes? And so you have to understand that though she's a serious lady, she understands that happiness is very, very important. Yes? And so we are asking, please, let us in our own small corner just encourage persons to be happy. Laughter and joy must be priority. Yes? Secondly, I say to us, like Mrs. Pickett, let us make sure that we are encouraging persons towards excellence. Excellence is non-negotiable. Non-negotiable. As persons get their PEP results, persons call and they are telling me all the different reasons why this never worked and that never worked and all of that. And I'm saying, the little poor child that is over there in the corner without anybody, that child was able to do it. There's no reason why your child could not have done it. Let us establish excellence and get our people to move towards excellence. Empowering people towards excellence. And Mrs. Pickett, you certainly did that. And so we ask you, please, in whatever field you are, continue to provide experiences that are able to enlighten people and to encourage them to move towards excellence. L, listening. Friends, we have to spend time to listen to each other. Everybody has a story, and they just want to be heard. The gangs are on the rise in our place, especially where we live. And the gangs are on the rise because these persons spend time to listen. We have to make sure that we spend time to just listen. We have to help by listening. Yes? And so, Mrs. Pickett, you were a good listener. You were able to listen to all the different stories. All the different stories, especially from the parents when they couldn't pay the fee. But as you listened, you were able to make plans and make arrangements. And today, many of your parents are grateful for the fact that you listened, you advised, and of course, you were a true confidant. And so we say, let us help, and we help by listening. Then P speaks to this whole business of perseverance. Before I get to P, let me just put back, I say the word here, trust, because I'm just trying to make sure that I keep you awake, yes? And I just want to go back to listen. L, listening. I want us to understand that through listening and through our own actions, we're able to build trust. And trust is extremely important as we listen. And so we move on and we're saying now, okay, we want to be able to get to a point where persons understand that we have to have and we have to live purposeful lives. You ask people, what are you going to do this week? What's your aim for today? What's your career goal? You ask children, what you want to become? Me no know. I'm saying to us all inside here, let us help by trying to get persons to live purpose-driven life. And purpose-driven lives could just be getting them into the idea about what's my aim for today? What do I hope to achieve today? Let us just see if we can talk to persons about that. And more importantly, let us make sure that our people get into the attitude of persevering. Life is not easy. Mrs. Pickett did not have everything easy. There were some terrible times, yes, challenging times, but with perseverance, she was able to make it. And so, friends, As we exist, I ask you to take from Mrs. Pickett that that passion that she has, that purpose-driven kind of life that she lived, and of course, the perseverance that she pushed into her students and her staff. There's no room for giving up. And so, friends, I say to us, let us help. Let us help. Let us help our people live happy and harmoniously. Let us help our people engage in encouraging and empowering persons towards excellence. Let us help our people by listening, because by listening we're able to see things from another perspective. We're able to give people hope. And P, let us be passionate as we get our persons to live purpose-driven lives, lives that actually are showing an attitude of perseverance. And so, friends, I say to us, let us understand that the village is waiting on us. It is only through the village approach that we're going to be able to live peacefully in this our island home, Jamaica. And so I say to Mrs. Pickett, as you move on to a different perspective on life, as an educator, I know you can't keep still. So wherever you are, you will be teaching. Continue to teach. May the light of God continue to surround you. May you continue to illuminate others, showing them the pathway to uplifting themselves through education. May God continue to grant you His peace. May God grant you strength as you continue to serve in another part of His vineyard. May He pilot you and guide you to finding peace. May He continue to protect and direct you as you grow in faithful fellowship with Him. Take care and walk good as you take charge of your thoughts. Take charge of your thoughts. Ensure that they're positive and focus on all the good things that you would have done, especially as it relates to helping others. And so, honorees, we honor you and we say to you, thank you for all that you do. And friends, remember, you promised me you are going to help. God bless you as we move our people towards a higher height. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Michele Pinnock. And ladies and gentlemen, may I have another round of applause? And I certainly hope, if I say help, you know what I'm talking about, right? Living happy and harmonious lives, encouraging and empowering our people towards excellence. She said it's non-negotiable. And of course, listening to each other, because everybody has a story, and listening, being a good active listener builds trust. And of course, the P, my little friend, you know Big Boy? Big Boy got an assignment, as I said, the word perseverance. Big Boy got an assignment, and the teacher said, now I want you all to write an essay about perseverance. And the big boy was sitting on the edge of near to the door, so he's looking out the door and he's doing everything else, and everybody eyes down looking, and they're writing and they're writing and they're writing. And teacher is walking around and, you know, observing, and then, big boy, what is wrong with you? Start writing. Cool, everything cool, teacher. And everybody else is writing, and big boy is not writing anything. And teacher says, 10 minutes. 10 minutes to go. And big boy is still looking through the window and doing all kinds of nonsense, you know, because that's big boy, that's what he does. Teacher said, 5 minutes to go. And it's like a bolt hit Big Boy. She see Big Boy just pick up a pen and just start to write and write. So I wonder what this boy is writing at this time. Teacher said, time up! And she started to pick up the papers. And she took Big Boy's paper. And she said, let me see what this boy writing so crazily in this last 5 minutes. Everybody spent half an hour writing an essay in the last 5 minutes. He's there writing, and she has to take the paper away from him. And when she look on Big Boy paper say, galang, 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 galang. Galang, 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 galang. And the whole page, galang, galang. So we are going to, what is the P? Persevere. But if you can't remember that big word, just remember galang, 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 galang. So we're going to persevere and live purposeful lives. And of course, lives of passion. Do what we're passionate about, as Mrs. Pinnock did on her journey. Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the evening when we move into our presentation of awards and gifts. And we want to invite, I think somebody took away my paper, but anyways, I bet you it's Marline. Marline, you take away my paper up here that have all who we're going to give the award to who and that sort of thing. Please come back up here with my paper. Is that not a big boy that you know? Thank you very much, sir. Okay, so I'm going to invite Dr. Heather Pinnock-Bryan to come at this time to assist with the presentations. And our first presentation will be done to Mrs. Pansy Pickett, Principal. Put your hands together for her as she comes. See, what does it say? It says, a legacy of excellence presented to Pansy Pickett, 48 years of leadership and dedication, June 29, 2024. Mrs. Pickett, go to the center. You think that's a nice photograph? Take her across to the middle so that you can get a nice photograph. Thank you so much, and congratulations, Mrs. Pickett. I think he wants one more. Thank you so much. Bless you. Doctor, I hope I'm getting your name correct. It's Juanette, right? Juanette Jordan. Past board chairman and advisor, please come forward. And Heather will do the honors for this one as well. Recognition award presented to Dr. Juanette Jordan in recognition of your years of invaluable contribution and dedication to the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School. You have made a difference. June 2024. Are you good, Mr. Photographer? Okay. Mr. Egbert Buchanan, past board member and advisor. Recognition award presented to Mr. Egbert Buchanan in sincere appreciation for your years of committed and dedicated service to the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School. You too have made a difference. Mr. Buchanan. I want you to go center so that we get some clean shots. Yes. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Please, a round of applause. Allow me to welcome Molly Plummer-Henry, our board representative, who will assist us with the next batch of presentations. And may I invite Ms. Carlos Reed, one of our teachers, to come forward at this time. Or stand in the middle and let me just see what this one says. Eat heavy, sir. Long Service Award presented to Miss Carlos Reed, the staff and students of Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten. Thank you for all the hard work you have put into this institution over the past 32 years. You are a true asset to our team. June 2024. Yes, ma'am, clap for 32 years. You don't look 32. Congratulations. Mrs. Maureen Houston, teacher, come forward, please. And Mrs. Plummer-Henry will do the honors. A pillar of strength, Mrs. Maureen Houston. 36 years of unshakable dedication, Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten. Miss Adeline Gilpin. Of goodies. Okay, go ahead. Now you need to bring that down a little bit more so that it's not in. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miss Molly. Marvin Bryan, would you come forward, please, to assist with the presentation to Miss Dawn Brown. Miss Brown, please come forward, one of our ancillary staff. Go ahead, I'll read what it says after. Excellent Service Award presented to Janet Brown, 35 years, a pillar of strength and unshakable dedication to the Hemmingay Prep and Kinder School. You have made a difference. Miss Unita Walker. Princess? Okay. Long Service Award presented to Unita Walker for 23 years in recognition of your invaluable contribution and support to to the Hemmingay Prep and Kinder School. You've made a difference. And Mr. Lansford Beckford. Mr. Becky. Okay, so it's an appreciation award presented to Mr. Lansford Beckford in recognition of your years of devoted service to the Hemmingay Preparatory and Kindergarten School. Thank you, you've made a difference. Thank you very much, Mr. Bryan. And may I invite Cassandra Thelwell to come forward at this time? And may I also invite Dr. Michele Pinnock to come forward to accept this token of appreciation from the Hemmingay family. There you go, madam.
Good evening, everyone. With all protocols observed, Dr. Michele Pinnock, it is my pleasure to extend a sincere thanks to you for your exceptional presentation. Your insights and expertise made a significant impact, and we're grateful for your valuable contribution. We thank you again for sharing and making this event a success. Looking at you, we thought you were simple, but you ain't a nut. You aren't a hard nut to crack. Please accept this gift from all of us with love, and we do appreciate the sacrifice you made.
Thank you very much, Ms. Thelwell. I'm sitting here. This is kind of strange, you know, because you can't really announce a token to yourself, you know. But anyways, Mr. Campbell is going to do it, so I guess he can say what he has to say.
Good evening again. I just want to say thank you for hosting a wonderful program. Come on, give a big round of applause. You have added a touch of class to the meeting, to our gathering together. You have made the room sparkle with your presence. I mean, here. Alright, I would just want to present you with a small token of our appreciation for the wonderful job that you have done. Yes, thank you. Please join me on the outside.
Too close to me? Thank you so much, Mr. Campbell. And let me invite Mrs. Sean Dalley to come forward. Sean, you're in the back somewhere there. Trudy, where's your mother? Please come to the front of the room. Mrs. Dalley, please come. Center stage, please. She doesn't like this at all, you know.
On behalf of the Hemmingay Pinnock family, we appreciate you. You are my mentor, my everything, my sister, my everything. You are my go-to. You know that. Even in America, they call you chocolate and ice. I love you dearly for all that you do for me. Thank you.
And thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Pickett Bryan. Mrs. Campbell and Mrs. Archer, I gather you would like to make a presentation, so I'm going to ask Mrs. Campbell to come first, followed by Mrs. Archer.
Mrs. Pickett, may you come to the stage?
I'm Mrs. Campbell, mother of Nathan Campbell, grade 6, and we appreciate you so much. I've known about you for more than 20 years. I've always revered you. I know you are a great, firm, passionate person when it comes on to children, education, and molding and making great people for the future, and health, education, and so on. My family, myself, my husband and Nathan, just want to present you with this little token, and we hope you appreciate it and love it. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everyone. So, for those persons who do not know, we are a part of the Hemmingay family, and we have been, I've been checking Mrs. Pickett, over 30 years. We have had 13 of our children, between myself and my brothers and sisters, our children, 13 have attended Hemmingay Prep. And going back, it has been from about 1990 thereabout, all the way. So we have done a lot of fish fries, we have done a lot of different events, And today I'm honored to be here celebrating the educational journey of both Mrs. Pickett and the Hemmingay family. I'm also here as a true friend and someone who wants to honor her for something else that she did for me as a human being. When our church was looking for a space to have our services, Mrs. Pickett opened the doors of Hemmingay, the auditorium, and we had services there for over 2 years. And this evening, along with my family, the Stephenson-Dalley Archer, and the church, Montego New Testament Church of God, we wanted to show honor to Mrs. Pickett this evening, just to say thank you in so many ways. God bless you, and you know I'm no stranger. Thanks again.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, hold the flowers down a little bit so it's not blocking any faces. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Sacha. Thank you. All right, I think it has been an evening well spent, but like all good things, there is an end. But before we go, before we wrap things up, we also have to pause to give thanks. Gratitude, Lady Coffee says, is a must. So let's hear now from Shonette Dua, our board chairman. Ms. Dua, please come, and as she comes, give her a round of applause.
As Mrs. Marline Stephenson-Dalley said, every good thing must come to an end. But we're not going to end here tonight. We're going to pause a little and then we'll probably come back 48 years from now. Right. So the privilege is mine to say a big thank you to all those who made this program successful. Won't you say it was successful? Yes. Great. John F. Kennedy once said, as we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. It is by our actions tonight that we will all say thank you. We will all give a hug to Mrs. Pickett, smile, shake her hand, and not just to Mrs. Pickett, but to those whom we have met. We haven't seen some persons for the longest while. So it is by our actions that we are going to say thank you. Firstly, to our esteemed keynote speaker, Dr. Michele Pinnock. We applaud you for the inspiring and motivating words you uttered to us tonight. Your speech captivated us. Hell was what I got from it. Custis Conrad Pitkin, Dr. Sadie Mortley, and Mrs. Diane Ridgard, we thank you for the kind words and your continued support to the school. Mr. Dwight Otti, you did a great job in invoking the presence of God in the ceremony. We thank you. Dr. Shauna Heron and Mrs. Audrey Hudson, Your sincere words were well received. How could we not say thank you? Western Entertainment, DJ Trendsetter, and the Hatfield Group, they provided lovely entertainment to us. Gratitude is a must. Miss Carlis Reed, the warm words you uttered were noted and we appreciated them. Dr. Heather Pickup Bryan, thank you for providing such vivid historical overview. We know where we are come from and we know where we are going. Mr. Marlon Campbell, thank you so much for that lovely presentation. For all participants in this for all the participants in the presentation of awards and gifts, your presentation added a heartfelt touch to the ceremony. To our moderator, you did a lovely job. Thank you. And finally, to you, the audience, thank you for your support towards Hemmingay and your presence here tonight. You are indeed a member of the family and we want it to continue like that. Now, I sat over there and I've been looking at my phone every minute and I hear they're talking about burial. But don't worry yourself. I'm sure after tonight everybody going to be concerned about burial. You know who's burial? All right. So you're going to pack up shortly and you're going to go home and you're not going to be thinking about burial, but you're going to be thinking about Hemmingay Prep. How is it that you're going to make it bigger and better in the future? Have a good night, everyone, and thank you for coming out.
Thank you very much. Ms. Dorr, Chairman of the Board. Ladies and gentlemen, all that's left for me to do is to wish our honorees and Mrs. Pickott God's blessings on the other leg of their journey, and again to say thank you for all that you have done, and for some that you will continue to do into the future as we secure our educational landscape for the future. And as we evolve in that teaching learning process, we have new technologies, new innovations, new kinds of students, all kinds of challenges on our hand. But together we can, and as our keynote speaker said, let us help in all those ways that she outlined this evening. Thank you once again. God bless you. Travel safely home to your respective destinations and think on these things. Yes, to God be the glory. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.